Hi again, everyone, it's me, Allie Nightingale, and welcome back to another Studio Sessions mini vlog. So today is Tuesday, September 2nd, and I honestly can't believe it's September already. It's practically spooky season, but also not quite. But anyway, for today's session, I'm gonna pick up where I left off for working on the instrumental for Fairy Tale, and then towards the end of the session, I'm gonna jump back into the rough mix for Wake Up and work on a little bit of that, but yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so I briefly lost track of time because it's almost 9 o'clock right now, but I recorded a little guitar track, a little acoustic guitar track, and I'm gonna quickly play you a little bit of how it sounds. Okay, so I quickly switched over to Wake Up and took another listen through of it just to see if I needed to add any more plugins. And I decided to add a little compressor to the bass track just so it's more pronounced. So here's a little bit of how it sounds. Okay, so it's just about 9 o'clock, so I'm gonna call tonight's session here and go take a shower. And my next session is on Thursday, I believe. Yes, Thursday the 4th. So I will see you all then. Hi again. It's Thursday, September 4th. And I'm just gonna I've got Pro Tools open right now, so I'm gonna take one more, or maybe a couple more listen throughs of Outro Wake Up and see if I can add any more plugins to it, if it needs any, and then I'm gonna jump right into the instrumental for Fairy Tale, so let's get to it. Okay, so all I did was just make a few tweaks to the gain on some of the tracks. I feel like that's all that needed. It's pretty much done otherwise, but here's a little preview of how it sounds. So now that the rough mix is done, I'm just gonna update my progress tracker to rough mix created for this song, and I'm gonna update the milestone section, and I'm gonna export the wet stems and then bounce the rough mix as a whole. Okay, so I managed to fix the acoustic guitar track for this song so that it sounds a little more coherent pattern-wise. And then I also recorded a little strings track. Well, I added some more to it, I should say. But yeah, here is how it currently sounds. It's almost 9 o'clock. I gotta go take a shower. So I'm gonna call tonight's session here. And now that the rough mix of Wake Up is done, I can focus solely on finishing the instrumental for Fairy Tale. So I'll pick back up in tomorrow's session. I'll see you guys then. Hello again. It is Friday, September 5th, and for today's session, I'm just gonna lock in and work on as much of the instrumental for Fairy Tale as I can. In the middle of downloading a demo for an electric guitar plugin that'll hopefully produce a more realistic sounding guitar, and it'll hopefully produce the kind of electric guitar sound that I'm looking for this track. So let's get right to it. Alright, so I've been working on a little rhythm section for this song, and this is what I've got so far. I've got a kick, I've got a snare, and I've got a hi-hat. So, here is how it sounds so far. Okay, I finished working on the rest of the rhythm section, and I also added another track for some sleigh bells. So here's a little bit of how the percussion section sounds. And now here's how it sounds with the rest of the track. Okay, it's about 9:15. I'd say I'm in a pretty good place to call tonight's session here, and I've got one more session to work on this, but that's not until next week. And I think I'm gonna take that one to just give it another listen through and add any final touches that I think might be necessary. But yeah, I'm calling tonight's session here as well as this week's mini vlog, so if you liked it, please be sure to leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell icon in order to be notified whenever I upload. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next vlog.